Yo, what's up, all you One Piece fans out there? I'm Duuz-Diz-Din, and man, Kaido's hybrid form. Ooh, it feels like it was a long time coming for this one, which it really was. But at the same time, it really wasn't. Like, what was it, like 4 chapters we had to wait? That's not too bad, all things considered, but just jumping into it because it's just like, yeah, it's about what you would have expected. Just take Kaido's dragon form, take his human form, and bam, there you go. Now, it does kind of feel a little bit almost underwhelming, but at the same time, it's just like, it's exactly what you would think it would look like. So, a lot of build up for something that's just like, yeah, we kind of could have predicted this is what it would look like, but I'm happy for it nonetheless. And the fact that it's giving all of them so much trouble, like Luffy, in the most comedic way, is just continuously being knocked back over and over and over again. He keeps trying and he keeps getting his ass kicked. It's actually hilarious. And I like the fact that Law and Zoro and Kid are just trying to figure something out on how they should take these two down. Because the combined force of Kaido and Big Mom, yeah, it's too much. Like, Kaido's, hybrid form looks cool and all, but dude, Big Mom. And the way she's wielding Prometheus, Zeus, and Napoleon, it looks insane. It looks absolutely insane. Like, Kaido does look like an Oni full on here, but like Big Mom looks like an incredible force of nature in and of herself. Like she's ready to peel them like Law wants to do to them. So I think it's pretty funny. I also love the fact that Luffy he's trying to rationalize in his mind. It's just like they're human just like we are, so we should be able to take them down at some point. And I love Killer's response. It's just like it's pretty amazing that you think they're still the same kind of species as us. So I love all that. Like, pretty much Kid has accepted it. Just like this hell, we're probably gonna die here. But Luffy's response to that is just like, that's fine by me. I've been to hell and back a few times. It's like coming home. And Kaido just looking at him like, that light never seems to leave your eyes, does it? So it's Kaido's whole thing of constantly wanting to beat that optimism out of his opponents before he brings them to heel underneath him. But it's just like, you're never going to get him to lose all of that. It's that light is never going to go away. So I just had to talk about that because that was such a fascinating moment. But the real chapter begins with us seeing Odin. Like, Odin's here. He's here to join his friends. He says, "Oh, I've been sent from the past to the future by Toki's power. I'm here to help you. We will vanquish Kaido this day." And like everyone is pretty much drinking the Kool-Aid. Everyone but Ashura Doji. And as well as Raizo, actually. We give a lot of credit in this to Ashura Doji because he's the main one going in on this. But even Raizo's just like, yeah, that's right. Toki said that, mankind cannot return to the past. He can't just bring someone who is already dead. And they saw him die. But I feel like a lot of the samurai here are just so hopeful and wishful and wanting. Some who had waited for so long, and some who had only just seen Odin like a few months ago and he was still alive, and so much has happened to so many of them, but it makes sense that it would be Ashura Doji who doubts the validity of this being Odin because he was the one who was probably the most unwilling to actually join back up with this cause because he's lost so much. Like with everything that he's been through, it makes sense for it to be Ashura Doji who doesn't believe in it. And he even kicks Kinemon to the side, punches him, and just to prove, just because it's just like, okay, let me double check, and he slices into Odin, and it's just like he doesn't even bleed. You know? So it's just like, okay, there you go. No greater proof than that. Although he probably could have done more than going for the face, but Odin actually, well, the fake Odin actually manages to stab right into Ashura Doji, and all of them, realize, okay, there's only one person who would be able to make something like this. Someone who would, to know Odin's mannerisms and to just be able to create such a convincing doppelganger. There's only one person, Kanjuro. So Kanjuro is apparently still alive. Well, they're coming to this realization while Ashura Doji is on the floor bleeding out. And it's just like, he doesn't blame any of them for buying into it because it's just like, yeah, of course, of course. You want your friend to be alive. You wish it, you hope for it, but even Kikunojo is just like, oh man, I'm sorry, I didn't finish Kanjuro off. I should have done the deed. But Ashura Doji's just like, yeah, but he was our friend. I don't blame you for not finishing him off. He meant a lot to us. But apparently Kanjuro's just like, yeah, I'm dying. Like, I am basically so deeply wounded, I will eventually just pass on. But before that, I'm going to go after Momonosuke. I'm going to kill the little shit. So, they realize what he's after because of the announcement from the Marys and the broadcast of all that. But before they can, take this fake Odin down and go racing off, the fake Odin pulls out a freaking bomb. He's a suicide bomber. And so as everyone is clashing with this fake Odin, Ashura Doji's just like, look, the rest of you go, I'll take care of this. And Ashura just takes the fake Odin, crashes through the nearby window as he's being stabbed by the fake Odin, and he takes the brunt of the blast, and it's a big blast. It would have taken out that entire room with the scabbards in it had Ashura not done what he did. And the last we see of Ashura Doji is a smoldering body and his swords. It's just like, Ashura might not walk away from this. There's a possibility he might, but it's not really looking too good. And Kinemon, he goes racing out to go after Contra. He's just like, revenge! Just another name in the list of people we need to kill. But as they try to go after him, suddenly they're met by none other than Jack the Drought. Beaten, bruised, and bloody, but he is so looking forward to taking these guys down. But, though he has mowed through everyone trying to protect the scabbards, it's Inuyarashi who says that he will deal with Jack himself. As everyone else goes racing off, as Inuyarashi tries his best to just stand his ground and save the day here. Jack's just like, oh, you ain't got no full moon, so let's see how powerful you are. And Inuyarashi has the greatest clapback where he's just like, well, you don't have any poison gas, so I guess we'll both have to make do. So it's just like, oh, snap. Ooh, Inuyarashi is not playing around in this situation. He's having none of Jack's shit. But we also come to find out it's not just Kanjuro who's still alive. It's Orochi, which, surprise, surprise, we still don't get an explanation as how he survived, kind of cutting off his head, but it's possible it was an ink clone or it might have been his ability. We're not sure, but, Orochi is running around with Fukurokuju, who is basically slaying anybody who could possibly alert Kaido that he's still alive. But apparently Orochi has some kind of plan for killing everyone, just annihilating everyone who wronged him in this situation. And before we got to this whole situation with Luffy and the others on top of the roof, we had a brief moment where Momonosuke tells Yamato and Shinobu about the whole situation with the dragon form, where he has been getting a little bit more control over it, but, it's still not completely perfected. And, Yamato's just like, I wonder if it's similar to how my father's powers work. But ultimately, Momo's just like, well, it's not. If I had his kind of power, I would at least be able to help everyone. But at the same time, when Yamato wonders how Luffy and the others are doing, instantly Momonosuke is able to tell that Luffy is very weak, but he's still trying to fight on. And Shinobu's just like, wait, how do you know what's going on? That's Momo's color of observation haki. It's gotta be because his ability to hear the voice of all things and all that good stuff. But it's either or it could be a combination of both, but it's very much not unwarranted, as Momo was able to hear Sunisha and stuff like that. So it's just like, it's definitely in line with the abilities that Momo has slowly been developing over time. And that's something we've seen a lot, honestly, when it comes to young children. Very much like Asa back on Skypiea, a young child who was still able to hear, the voice of all things, her, color of observation. She could hear everyone basically dying around her. Something about when these guys are children makes them more in tune with that kind of stuff when Haki sometimes awakens. So I like that Oda has really been doing this a lot, where he's had young children have Haki powers, and it's usually observation to a certain extent. So very much very cool, very nice. But tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. What did you think about Kaido's hybrid form? What do you think this power that Momo has is, and is Oda setting it up to be something significant in the future? Who will come out on top? Inuarashi or Jack? Place your bets. How did Orochi survive his beheading? Is it in line with his powers and abilities? Or is it the work of Kanjuro, who knew that something might have been up with Kaido from the beginning? And do you think that the rest of the Scabbers will manage to find Kanjuro and take him down, as that seems to be the new direction they want to go in? Also, is Ashura Doji still alive? Was he completely destroyed? I mean, considering what Pell survived, but at the same time, because of the death of Pedro, like, it's hard to tell when Oda is actually going to kill someone in a massive explosion or let them live. So tell me your thoughts and theories in the comment section below. And until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I will see you later. Bye bye.